Skye back in the building, of course back in the car actually. So I am yet on the road again, and I felt like we needed to have another 180 with Richie conversation. And this idea of 180 actually came from a good friend of mine, a creative partner that I work with quite a bit. Her name is Shay, and she's literally a creative genius, to be honest with you. And I've had the privilege of working with her for the past several years in many different capacities. And when we were talking about this idea of, and I'm sorry about the light, that can't be helped at the moment, but the message is important, is more important. We had this idea because I've known that I've been in a state of pivoting for quite some time. And so we were looking for a way to define this period with a name. She came up with 180 with Richie because it's literally not a 360 in terms of a complete turnaround, a complete circle, but it's a 180 because we're changing our path and we're pivoting. So the thought that was on my mind today in relation to this pivot was, you get in life what you believe you deserve. And a lot of us don't really realize that, right? A lot of us have these negative self-concepts in our head about ourselves, whether that is from childhood trauma, whether that's from relationship trauma, whether that is from some experience that you've had in your life where you started to believe these negative things about yourself, whether consciously or subconsciously. And so what you may notice is that something great may happen, but it doesn't last, right? Or you find that you can't keep it, or you somehow self-sabotage. And the reason I can speak on this is because I've been through it. And one of the things that I had to come to realize was that there is a life that I deserve, right? And we've talked about this before just a bit, but you really have to begin to define what is the life that you deserve. And you can refer back to some of the other videos on this topic, but to summarize, you get in life what you feel like you deserve. If you feel like you are undeserving of love, of financial gain, or whatever it is that you're thinking about, a lot of times we feel this way. Like I said, it's either because of some level of personal trauma that we've been through, or because of some level of regret or some level of guilt. And these emotions and these feelings keep us stagnant and keep us in a state of continuous lack, right? Because we begin to feel, because of the regret, because of the guilt, that we don't deserve all the things that life can really offer us. And for some of us, we don't feel like we deserve it because we've never seen it. We've never seen the evidence of a better way. And again, that could be a result of life circumstance. That could be a result of life trauma, or something that you've experienced, again, consciously or subconsciously. So I want to give you some solutions, and I'm going to give you a resource for which to change this way of thinking. The first thing is, and this is from my own personal example, when I lived in Los Angeles, that was a completely different world for me. I initially moved out there because I felt in my spirit that I was led to go there. I'd always said in my mind, which is so crazy, that I wanted to live in LA for 3 to 5 years, and that I also wanted to live in Miami. Those were two places that I knew at some point in life that I was gonna be. Didn't know how it would happen, but it just so happened that the timing was right for me to move. Now, I moved under the circumstances that I told myself I was going to be going to film school because I wanted to make movies. I wanted to make documentaries, which is so crazy because full circle, years later, I'm in a screenwriting mentorship with a very successful production company. Having said all that, at the time though, I went through, I was heavy in my influencer bag, working with a bunch of brands. I was also, trying to figure out like a consistent, form of income in terms of those brand deals are great, but that's also an inconsistent lifestyle to a certain degree, unless you are getting big brands all the time. And at that point in time, I wasn't working with an agency. I really didn't know what I was doing, and I really didn't have a plan for consistency, right? So I did end up finding a pretty great job, and I, of course, did the show on Bravo. So all of those things ended up leading me towards a better life, specifically when I was offered an opportunity to work on a morning news show in Miami in 2018. But up until that point, I was in a state of struggle, to be quite honest with you. It was difficult. And I remember during the most difficult times, someone introduced to me the idea of manifestation, right? And so I started listening to a woman by the name of Abraham Hicks. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with her or not. So, but if you look on YouTube, you can find tons of videos. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, that changed my entire life. And so I reiterate in my videos that what you consume has a really deep effect on what you believe, how you think about yourself, how you think about the outside world, how you process events, and how you move forward, and what you will start to believe about what life can possibly offer. And all right, so y'all know what's crazy about doing these videos? I always get a call when I'm doing the video, and the call always actually levels up the video in some way, shape, or form. It's so crazy. Let me tell y'all something. I want you to repeat after me right now, and this is kind of like a break in the video. Everything is always working out for me, even when I can't see it. I want you to repeat that phrase every single day. Everything is always working out for me, even when I can't see it. Something just happened on a phone call just now that it was a whole fiasco, right? It was a whole conversation that turned into a fiasco that just circled back around, and it worked in everybody's favor. The fiasco, right? So oh my God, I got chills right now. But anyway, so what I was talking to you guys about was, when I was at my worst point in LA, I had done the show on Bravo, and it was about a year before the show actually came out, because they filmed for quite some time, because they had each person got an episode, or two or groups of people got an episode. I was the only person that had their own episode, because everybody else, they lived with somebody. So it was either like a husband and wife or roommates. The show was called Stripped. You can still look it up on, I think they might have it on the Bravo app. I think I still have my episode saved in my iTunes, on my Apple TV. So I think you can kind of go back in the archives and look, and you can definitely, if I have I'll find you a link to the promo for it, which was wild, because they used me as the promo, because I was the first person that filmed, along with another young lady who filmed as well. But for some reason, they ended up we were supposed to share an episode, but for some reason they ended up taking her out of the episode, which is, the wild thing about reality TV is, things that don't get shown, like her whole entire story didn't get shown. But it was great for me. I mean, like, in terms of the entire episode was about me, right? Anyway, that's a whole nother story for a different day. After we finished the show, some things ended up happening with the job that I was working. And if you go back through my video archives, and I may put it at the top as a linked video, I go through what happened with that story. But anyway, I would write down every single day the things that I was grateful for, even when I felt like there were days that I had absolutely nothing in terms of like money, in terms of like a job, in terms of, influencer deals. I was still getting DJ gigs here and there and brand deals here and there, but it wasn't really enough to sustain a living like that, right? So it's crazy because, I had come from a period where I made a lot of money and I was getting a lot of brand deals, a lot of bookings. And then, if you're an entrepreneur, that you have to ride the wave. And sometimes the wave is up and sometimes the wave is down, right? So in this down wave of my entrepreneurial journey, I had to learn that I needed to be grateful for what I had. And what did I have at the time? And this may be applicable to you, is I had air to breathe, I had food to eat, I still had my car, even though at one point that got repossessed, which was crazy, but I was able to get it back. Because I think it got repossessed on a Saturday, and I was able to get it back on Monday. I had friends that were there to help me out. I had a friend that encouraged me, like, he helped me with my PR, and he was like, yo, even though your car got repossessed, you still better get your butt down to this event that you need to be on the red carpet for, and they're going to be doing interviews, and you need to be doing your interviews, and you still need to be showing up despite whatever is going on in your personal life. And man, when I tell you, that was a slap in the face to me, because I was in a funk. Imagine just waking up and discovering that your car has been repossessed, and then you got to go show face at an event and look good, be jovial and happy, and collect, whatever goodie swag that they're going to give you. Which at the time you're thinking to yourself, I don't care about this goodie swag, I want my car, right? So I Uber down to the event or whatever like that, and I go and I have a great time, and he really poured into me that day. So I had to write down those things that I was grateful for, and then I would also write down what my financial situation, what I wanted it to be. So I would write down every day, that I am easily earning $10,000 a month. Because at that time, I was like, I wasn't really making a lot of money anyway. Like, a brand deal could make you a lot of money, but again, you got to get them consistently. And I didn't know how to do that consistently at the time, because I'm just like, they coming to me, right? I didn't know to be out there searching for them. Anyway, so, and if I had known what I know now, I would have been writing down $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, right? Because that's possible. But here's the thing. What I want you to do is, if you find yourself in this space, I want you to start writing down, the things that you are grateful for that you have. And they can be the simplest, the smallest things. Write them down daily. Because it's very difficult to live in a state of fear about your current situation and also exist in a state of gratitude at the same time. So that is why that gratitude journal was such a savior for me, was because it allowed me to reflect on the things that God had blessed me with, because you're not going to get more if you're not thankful for what you have now. Then the next thing that I did, and this may sound for a lot of you guys like, a little either, sometimes I feel like when we talk about this idea of manifestation, people kind of get a little, like, oh, is that real? Yeah. I'm here to tell you it's 100% real. You can call it manifestation or you can call it expectation. I actually almost like the idea of expectation better because it is the expected life that I feel like I deserve, right? And there we go back to that deserving, right? So I'm writing down what I'm grateful for, and I'm also writing down what I am expecting, what I am manifesting, what I am manifesting in the expectation of having, right? And before manifestation, you've got to change your vibration. So when you hear this statement, vibration precedes manifestation, it's absolutely 100% correct. How do you change your vibe though? You change it through gratitude. So, you're going to write down what you're grateful for. You're also going to write down what you're expecting, what you want to manifest, what you want your life to look like. And we've talked about visualizing that. The third thing that I did was I downloaded the Secret app. Now, this isn't a sponsored video or anything like that, so I don't get nothing from this other than hopefully the joy of knowing that someone else has been able to change their life because they listened to this video. That is my one goal specifically. So that to me is my reward, which is better than any sponsorship could ever provide, even if it's just one person. But the expectation for me is that this video changes many lives. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm grateful for the platform to be able to do it. You see this in action? So anyway, I downloaded this Secret app, and what that does is, it was great for me because it did something for me that I hadn't realized. The Secret app, every day, it gives you about 20 affirmations for yourself, for you to read. It also gives you a statement of desire, principle, or purpose for your life for that day. And you can actually share that with someone else, and they encourage you to share it. But what it also does is it tracks money that you have manifested, or money that you have earned, or not even just earned, that showed up into your life that day or that week. And then what it also does every day is, every day you check into that app, it sends you money, right? Now this is money in the form of a check, but the check is not really going into your bank account. But what it allows you to do is, it's going into an account within the Secret app. And in this app, seeing this check, seeing this virtual check, because that's all it is, allowed me to start to see that type of money flowing into me, into my virtual account. And you deposit it into that virtual account every day. So if you have been trying to manifest or expect $10,000 months or $10,000 days, this app allows you to see it happen, right? So you get used to seeing every day money going into this virtual account, because for some of us, we haven't been programmed to receive that because we've never seen it. So what then I'm able to see is every day deposits in this virtual account. And when I tell you how that changed my thinking, it really altered what my expectation level was. So now, at this point, when I open up the app, what started off as receiving $100 a day, has now turned into $250,000 a day because of my continued use of the app, right? So now that is my expectation, because once I reach that $10,000 month, which when it happened, it was mind-blowing to me because of the way that it happened. So I just want to encourage you today to start living in expectation of the life that you deserve. And hopefully some of these resources and tips and tools that I've provided for you, and if I can find a link to the secret app, I will put it in the description, so you can just search your app store, whether it's the Google store or the Apple store. Just search for it. I think it's still there because I still have it on my phone. And use it daily, and write down these things daily. Write down the things that you're grateful for daily, and write down the things that you are in expectation of daily, and write down the feeling of how that's going to feel. So I don't just write down, I want this. I never write I want anything, because want still implies lack. I write down, I really enjoy that I live a life of luxury and abundance with ease. I really enjoy, or I just love the feeling of being able to travel to new places, new cities, and encourage others to travel as well. I am in love with the fact that I am existing in a healthy body, and I enjoy exercise. I love that I can go home to visit my parents and get things done around their house because they provided so much for me, right? So I want you guys to start to think differently. I need you to reprogram your mind and how you think about your life and your self-concept and yourself. And I need you to start understanding that your past and the traumas that you've gone through and the things that have made you feel like you are undeserving of a better life, they are actually non-existent because they are in the past. And your past does not define you. The only thing that defines you is how you are feeling, what you are doing in the present moment. And if you are in a state of gratitude for even those things that you went through because they taught you something, then you can begin to reprogram your mind that much easier. So I hope that this message found you today when you needed it. My prayer for this message is that you share it with someone who needs it. Because when we go through these things in life, these points of transition, it's really all just a test. And how you respond to that test is how you either heal or get to the next level of your journey. So I implore you today, believe that you deserve the life that you've always wanted to live. And share this with someone who needs it. Even if you're not sharing the video, share your testimony. Because your testimony is not for you. It's for someone else. And I need you to marinate on that. So that's the message for today. That's the message that was on my spirit. I hope this message finds you well. I hope that this message moves you to action, to inspired action. And if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. I really want to grow this so that it touches as many people as possible, so that more of us can awaken our innermost desires and begin to realize that we can achieve them. And there's a way forward, right? If you guys have questions, I do also provide personal one-on-one sessions. I'll put the link in the description because I want to help as many people as possible. I will have I open up time slots each week for my availability for your specific, whatever it is that you want. A lot of people want help with YouTube and YouTube growth, finding their niche. And so we really can help you develop a plan and a strategy for which to grow and flourish in a way that fulfills your passions. So with that being said, I'm signing off for the day. Make today the best day of your life. And if you find yourself still in a state of struggle, one of the things that I always love to ask God is, show me how good it can get. That's a prayer that in our household we pray every morning. Show me how good it can get. That's a video for another day. So with that, I'm signing off. Y'all be blessed, be grateful, and know that you deserve all the good things that life has in store for you.